Hey guys, welcome to another video, and this video is gonna have some bad news. It looks like we're gonna be getting rid of another Montero. Did you think it's this one? Nah, unfortunately it's this one. As many of you know who've kept up with the channel, we have basically three Monteros. We have my 98, there's a 1989 Montero we saved a couple years ago that we are preparing to basically rebuild and restore. And we also have a 2002 Montero. There hasn't been a lot of videos on it. The reason why is because it's been basically broken. So I did a video on our 2002 Montero a couple years ago. You can click on the right there to watch the video. But basically, at that time, we did have active plans to get it fixed and get it going again, because it was my wife's Montero. If it wasn't for that Montero, it was basically our only car for a while. We were going through some rough times, and my son was little, my daughter was just born. It was the workhorse. It got me back and forth to work. It got us to do whatever. It took us on family trips, out of state and around Florida, for little vacations. But yeah, it was the workhorse. And eventually, as the kids got older, we had initial plans to kind of do major maintenance on it, because it did need it, and use it as a secondary adventure vehicle to, make our trips and go on trails and camping and stuff like that. But unfortunately, right around COVID, the beginning of COVID, my wife was involved in a hit and run. It obviously caused damage to it. The second week after her Montero got hit, it just started to develop a bad misfire, and I did some diagnosing, and come to find out it had a dead exhaust valve, which, to be honest, did not surprise me. Unfortunately, this is a time where we're just going through rough times. I couldn't really do the work myself. I just didn't have the time. I couldn't afford a lot of downtime. I couldn't take a lot of time off to get it fixed, and we relied on shops to get it fixed. And unfortunately, one shop who I won't mention their name, it was recommended by a friend, did bad work on it. I'm surprised that the engine didn't blow. It was off timing pretty bad. It still ran. It ran rough. We got it fixed, and I'm surprised that it still ran as long as it did. But he did mention that some of the exhaust valves, they didn't make contact, but there were signs it was really close to, there was very minimal contact. But at the time the valves were seating, there was nothing that would prevent the motor from running bad. So it didn't run bad, it ran fine. But up until that part, after the accident, it finally gave up, and it developed misfire, and it had a bad exhaust valve, and I think cylinder number 3, if I remember correctly. And not only it needed to get fixed body work, it was going to need some engine work, probably new heads or just getting a running motor. Time happened, life happened, stuff happened, priorities changed, and we've made the decision to unfortunately let it go. So I won't go into full detail. Like I said, I linked the video. It kind of covered most of the issues of why what happened to this Montero. But basically, just to do a quick summary, my wife was getting ready to make a turn into the regular main traffic, and the speed limit was 35 miles an hour. Unfortunately, there was a car that was behind a truck. My wife on the outside lane, on the right lane, my wife went to turn and merge into the left lane. Some lady was tailgating the truck, made a last minute lane change. It was too late. My wife was already, this part of the Montero was already sticking out. She hit it, and basically this whole corner was all damaged and hit and run, and that's how it started. And then like I said, the motor started to develop a misfire a week after the accident, and it's been like this since. So yeah, I mean, we had originally plans to get it fixed, but like I said, life changed in the past few years, and we have specific goals that we want to do in the next few years. Some stuff we have to let go, and as much this third gen Montero has a lot of sentimental value to the family, there's a lot of memories. We brought my daughter home when she was born in this vehicle, with trips and stuff, and it got us through a rough part of several years of our lives. I just don't have the time or a huge amount of expendable income to invest to get this fixed. Trust me, if I had both of those, this video would not exist. I would put this aside for a little bit and eventually get to it, but I don't have the time to invest to get it fixed. Sourcing another motor, purchasing it, getting it in there, and not only does it not only need a motor and getting obviously the body damage fixed, it needs a lot of maintenance. I'm going to be quite honest with you, we kind of neglected it a little bit because money was tight years ago, and we just some things we just had to just hope and prolong and put it aside till we can come up with money. It's going to need all new shocks. Suspension has to be overhauled. I'm sure some of the bushings have just need to be replaced. Overall, it just needs a lot of maintenance. The interior, all the leather seats especially the two front ones, are in bad shape. So when I did the calculation, just rough, quick, I'm spending a lot of money, actually more money than it's probably worth running, and it just didn't make sense. I mean, like I said, if I had money and time, the sentimental value would proceed over the value of the vehicle. But realistically, since we don't have either of those, we had to come to the reality it would just have to let it go, and that's where we're at right now. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the tires are pretty much dry rotted. They all need to be replaced. You can tell it has been ran in a while. The rotors all have a lot of surface rust on them. Paint is in bad shape. Paint's not a huge deal because my best friend has a shop. It's just a matter of prepping it and doing that, but it's going to need paint. Like I said, suspension components are not super bad, but I mean, it's going to need to be overhauled. New bushings, new ball joints, tie rods. The steering rack, it was leaking, so I'm going to have to get a rebuilt steering rack and all that stuff. Let's see, open the door. Like I said, the seats are going to have to be reupholstered. I mean, generally it's in decent condition, interior, other than the normal wear and tear. There's no major stuff happening with the door panels. I did notice that the tach wasn't working when I was starting it. Still, like I said, has the misfire. I mean, I even have all the parts to fix the exterior. So I have a new fender there, new front bumper. Part of the radiator support is back there, so we can cut and weld to get fixed. It was pretty bent out of shape, but yeah, it's like I said, it's just going to be a lot of money and a lot of time needed to get this back to working condition. Yeah, I'm finding a couple places that I guess you can sell your vehicle. I found one place. I think there's actually a couple places I'm looking at. At this point, I think whoever I choose, this vehicle is either going to end up in an auction type of deal. Maybe you're gonna send it to a salvage yard, or it's gonna end up on like something like Copart. And hopefully, if someone buys it, this can be restored. It's not in the shape where it can't be. It just needs a lot of maintenance. Someone who's really passionate about the platform, who wants to get it back in shape. And let's just be honest, their enthusiasts for Monteros here in the United States are not as vast as, like, comparable like Toyotas. It's not going to be like Land Cruisers where people are actively want to restore them. The third gens are they're the last gens that sold here in the United States, so there's still plenty full of them. You still can find them. You can still get them at running condition at fairly cheap prices. So it just doesn't make sense to get this one that's not really running, that needs a lot of work to get it running. So as sad as it seems for me, it's going to be a parts car. It's going to be junked. It's going to be, recycled and all that good stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this head unit here, this Pioneer head unit. I literally put this, like, I don't know, 6 months before the accident, so it still works. It's pretty much brand new. If I might save this or sell it. I'm looking at maybe getting a daily driver. I'll put it in there, or I might just sell it if that falls through. But yeah, I'm gonna take that out, put a old factory radio I have in here. I gotta get a battery for the Montero just so it can start, and then put like some fresh fuel, because the fuel in here in the tank is kind of old. I think one of the stipulations that when selling the car, it has to be in running condition to get the most money for it. So I gotta get that done. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's bad news. I really want to have all the generation Monteros that were in the United States. I'd like to own all of them. Like I said, we have a first gen. I have my second gen 2.5, which you guys are pretty aware of, and this third gen. Unfortunately, like I said, I can't keep it. I don't have to. I'd like to get in the third gen maybe down the road. I love the body style. They ride good. They're great vehicles. This was literally problem free, especially that we didn't really do the maintenance like we should on it. It never gave us a problem. Even when the shop did some botched work on the timing belt, on a timing job on it, and other stuff, it still ran and never left us stranded. I mean, the only time it left us stranded was a starter, and that was only a couple miles away when my wife was getting gas, and that's it. Nothing catastrophic. I think it has over 200,000 miles. I think not like 205 or maybe 210. I'm not sure. It's been a while. Problem free. AC blew cold, whatever. It was just a great vehicle, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm pretty sad that I had to let it go. I don't like letting go of cars that I have some type of sentimental value. A couple videos ago, I saw my old Montero Sport in the junkyard. I was sad about that. I don't know. If you're a gearhead, you just don't like to see cars that you have some like weird sentimental value to it just gone or being destroyed, or you have to let go. And this is one of them. This is like my second one in like a year. So Montero Sport now, just third gen. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead. Like I said, we're gonna get some gas, a gallon of gas to put in a tank, get a battery, and then continue the video and see it get towed off. All right, I have the old stock radio here, and we're gonna remove this doubled in here. All right, the Pioneer double ends out. Removed all the harness, the wiring, the microphone, and now this Stock radio goes back in. I'm over here at the salvage yard. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can grab a used battery for the Gen 3. Then after that, we're gonna get some fuel and then proceed. All right, was able to swap out a new battery, well, used battery, and there it is. So yeah, that's good. Now to put some, get a little bit of fuel so we can dump it in the tank. All right, we got fuel. We're back home. Getting ready to put the fuel in and a new battery. Oh, tell I haven't opened this in forever. All right. As you saw when I connected the negative terminal to the battery, the factory alarm went off. So what I had to do was to basically unlock it, unhook it, hook it back on, and unlock it with the key, because the fob has no battery, so I couldn't unlock it, and it shut off the alarm. So the terminals are secure, so all I'll do now is going to start it. It's going to have a misfire because like I said, that collapse or failed exhaust valve on cylinder, I think 3. So, but as long as it starts and runs, that's all I really need it to do. So we're gonna give it a shot. It's running. This Montero's just been, it's been sitting for, I haven't started this Montero for several months. I think the last time I started is when I did that video on the Ava Pow jump starter pack. That was the last time I started the truck. So that was like almost a year ago. It took like a couple tries, but right now it's idling. Other than the dead cylinder exhaust valve, it's running. I mean, it's not making a ton of noise. It shows you how well this truck has been really good for us, and one of the reasons it sucks that we have to let it go. But yeah, it's running. I'm gonna let it idle for a little bit, continue to run. After I let it run for a little bit, I'm just gonna start cleaning stuff out, some of our personal items, and then go through the process of going through whomever I'm gonna use to sell the Montero to, go forward with it, and I guess watch it get towed away. All right, today's the day. We are going to have the Gen 3 Montero. It is going to be the last day we're going to have it. Later in the afternoon, it's going to be towed away. So what I'm going to do is just air up the tires. They're a little bit low on air, and put the battery in, start it up. So if you see here, there's been some wasps building their nests. I know there's one over here, and then there's one right under the hood. I'm gonna hit it up with some wasp spray, get rid of the wasps. Here's the wasp nest. Let me hit it up. There's another one over here. You can see right there. I'm gonna hit that. They're not happy. Starts right up. tow company just called. They're gonna be here in about 30 minutes or so. Just took off the plates, and gonna make it easier for him to load it up. So I'm gonna reverse park it on the driveway. Just, I guess, say our final goodbyes to it. Alright. Old girl started right up. There she is. He's all reverse parked, pretty much prepped. Now is to wait for the tow truck to come in, and that'll be it. Tow truck's here. Bye, bud. Alright guys, it's been a few days since you saw the Montero, the Gen 3 getting hauled off, and basically it's just the conclusion to this video. It's a little bit bittersweet because the sweet part is I don't have to worry so much about getting it running again, fixing it, and the costs involved. The bitter part is we lost a physical representation of our memories. Yes, our memories will stick with us, with me, my wife, and my kids. It just sucks that, you know, the object, the Gen 3, is not there. We can actually look at it and relive those memories, right? It's no longer here with us. That's the part that sucks. And it's weird that I have this weird sentimental value towards my vehicles, but I know I'm not the only one. If you don't have that type of thing, well, I guess you just won't understand, but I do. I do have it, and if you guys have, any of you guys that have that type of similar sentimental thing towards your objects or vehicles, you get it, right? So it just sucks. These past few days did kind of suck, but I made a decision. I got to move on, right? I don't plan to get rid of any more Monteros. Hopefully no more Monteros leave our fleet, right? This 98 is staying with us. I'm gathering a bunch of spare parts just to keep it alive. And then the Gen 1, the 1989 Montero, you will start seeing content on that very, very soon as we start the rebuild restoration process and getting that up and running. And hopefully soon after actually get to enjoy it. Excited about that. That Gen 3, I'll admit, we went through some very hard times. I'm not gonna lie to you. And that was our only vehicle. 3 was the workhorse. It took me back and forth to work. It took our kids to their doctor's appointments. My son is autistic, so his therapies. And my daughter's born, took her home from the hospital. You know, all the things. And then it even took us on family trips, in-state and out-of-state. And it just never gave us an issue. It was just an awesome vehicle. And I don't care what people say about Mitsubishi as a brand. It's been exceptional to us. And I'm not mad at you if you think you don't like the brand. That is your right to feel that. You might have had a bad experience, whatever. Everyone likes certain things for their specific reasons. But for us, none of our Mitsubishis have given us issues. They've just been completely reliable. And 2 of them saved literally my wife's life twice and my son's life, and me once. So I just love the brand. That's an end of an era with our Gen 3. I just wish we could have done more for it, right? But yes, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please subscribe. If you like any of our other content, definitely subscribe to our channel. And if you have any stories about any vehicles that you regret letting go, or even vehicles you have now, share your stories, put it in the comment, and so other viewers can read your experiences, right? So thanks guys for watching, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.